So listen students, let us consider a body is moving in a circle. The initial position of the body is equal to point A you take. Means it started at t is equal to 0 from point A. So now I am going to analyze the circular motion students in xy plane, in xy coordinate plane by using vector analysis. So that you will come to know the relation between the different parameters that are governing the circular motion. Okay students. So let us consider after some time, okay, the body has reached up to here. That is point B, making an angle theta. So let us consider R is the radius of this circular motion. Okay guys. Now here I am considering a unit vector along the radius direction. Let it be R cap. See students, at this instant I am considering a unit vector in the direction of R, and I am also considering one more unit vector along the direction of tangent. Let it be t cap. Listen carefully students. In order to show you the parameters that are governing the circular motion, I am taking the concept of circular motion in coordinate system. Okay guys, as a part of that, I have considered this is a starting point, and after time t, the body has reached up to here. Now let us consider r cap is the unit vector along the radius and t cap is the unit vector along the tangent. Because students, in circular motion, we will see few parameters lying along the radius and few parameters lying along the tangent. In order to give all those parameters, okay, with the mathematical proof, I have considered this situation. Now listen, here r cap is equal to students, since it is a unit vector, okay, its magnitude will be 1, and since it is making an angle theta with x-axis, we can write it as students cos theta into I cap. Along x-axis, the magnitude of this or the component of unit vector along x-axis can be written as cos theta into I cap plus, and along y-axis students we can write it as sin theta into j cap. Okay, so this is a unit vector along the radius direction. If you take the magnitude also, it will become 1 students, because under root of cos square theta plus sin square theta will become 1, and r cap is a unit vector. It will have a specific direction with magnitude always 1. That's why it is said to be students unit vector. Okay guys, take like this. This is a unit vector along the radius at any instant, and try to write down the in the same way t cap students. Here t cap remains perpendicular to the unit vector, no, means radius vector. Okay, so try to write down, means it will be like this students. I am indicating here. So this could be the direction of t cap. We can represent like this in the coordinate system. Okay guys, perpendicular to this you draw it. Now this is perpendicular to this. Okay. Now if you take this as theta students, for this direction this is perpendicular for this. So this will become theta geometrically. If this is theta students, then this will be the theta, or else the angle made by the unit vector along tangent with y-axis will be theta. Then see guys, if you write down this t cap in vector form, then we will get all the time here right along this direction minus sin theta into I cap you can take students, because the x component of this unit vector will be along negative x-axis. This is negative x-axis. Okay, and that too sine component. Why? Because t is making an angle theta with y-axis. Therefore, the component along y-axis will be cos theta students. Then you can write it as cos theta into j cap. I hope you understand what I am doing here. Okay, I have just taken the unit vectors along the radius as well as tangent. Okay students, this is a unit vector along the radius of this circular motion. This is a unit vector along the tangent of this circular motion. Okay, since tangent always remains perpendicular to the radius vector, if radius vector makes an angle theta with y-axis, the tangent unit vector will make an angle theta with y-axis. Here it is x-axis, here it with y-axis. Therefore, like this you can take the unit vector along the direction of radius and tangent along the direction of tangent. Okay, unit vector along the tangent, unit vector along the radius. Okay, now so listen, now students, I can write radius vector is equal to, so this is a unit vector along radius, this is a unit vector along the tangent. Now I am taking, students, radius vector of this circular motion at any instant. I can write it as r into magnitude of the radius into r cap. That is equal to, students, r into, you can write it as cos theta I cap into cos theta into I cap. So plus you can write it as, students, sin theta into j cap. That's it. R into cos theta into I cap plus sin theta into j cap. So like this, we can write radius vector, radius in vector form, radius of a body moving on a circle. Okay, radius vector. So I hope you understand how I have taken the radius vector. So I got the radius vector. No, try to find out the velocity vector of this body, students. It is simply written as dr by dt. If you differentiate the radius vector, students, you will get velocity vector, because here radius vector is acting as a position vector for the body moving on the circle. Because guys, any vector joining the origin and the point that is moving in the coordinate plane will act as displacement vector. Means here for the body moving on the circle, radius vector is playing the role of what? Displacement vector. Therefore, we get corresponding velocity vector just by differentiating the radius vector. Then take down this, students, dr by dt. This is equal to, differentiate it. Here r is anyway constant, students. Okay. Now differentiation of cos theta. I need some space, so I'm doing slightly from here, students. So I can write v is equal to dr bar by dt. That is equal to, r is anyway fixed value, students, constant radius. It cannot be differentiated, but here cos theta can be differentiated. It can be written as minus sin theta into, since we are doing differentiation with respect to t, but here variable is theta. Therefore, you will get, after writing the formula, you have to differentiate theta separately, d theta by dt into I cap. It remains as it is. So this is a complete differentiation of cos theta. Okay, guys. Formula of differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. But we are differentiating with respect to time, but their variable is theta. That's why, students, after writing down the formula, you need to write separately this d theta by dt again. Plus differentiation of sin theta is going to be cos theta, students. Here I can write this as cos theta into same thing, d theta by dt I can write. So into j cap, students. This is completely j cap. Here j cap you will get, I'm writing here. Okay. So but see, students, d theta by dt is always written as omega, angular velocity. So the simplified form of v bar can be written as, here d theta by dt can be written outside. Meanwhile, you can replace d theta by dt with omega, guys. Then the simplified form you are getting it as r omega into minus sin theta of I cap, students, plus this is cos theta into j cap. Like this you can write, friends. So v is equal to r omega into minus sin theta into I cap plus cos theta into j cap. Okay. So now v is equal to, you can write it as r omega into, this is nothing but unit vector along the tangent. You see, guys, minus sin theta into I cap plus cos theta into j cap. Therefore, you can write it as r omega into t cap. That means velocity of a body moving on a circle always points along the tangent. Okay, guys, and it is said to be linear velocity. For a body moving on a circle, its linear velocity always points along the tangent. That all we have proved, because r is a position vector joining the origin as well as the body that is moving on the circle in this coordinate system. Therefore, by differentiating this r vector, we will get velocity vector. Okay. After doing differentiation, we got r omega into t cap. And from this, we can say that anyway, this is unit vector, no? The magnitude of velocity is going to be r omega and its direction is always along the tangent. Like this, you can generalize. So for a body moving on a circle, you can write it as v is equal to r omega. And since velocity is a vector, you can give its direction as tangent. Very important component, students, it is. So for a body moving on a circle, you will have velocity as r omega and its direction as along the tangent. I hope you understand. I'm rubbing these two, students. Only these two, because I require this diagram. That's why I'm rubbing these two. Copy the equations quickly, students. Now, if you want to find out the acceleration, copy all the equations. I'll keep rubbing because I need the space. Here, acceleration of the body moving on a circle can be written as dv by dt. If you differentiate velocity with respect to time, you will get acceleration, because this is our normal kinematics. Okay. On differentiating displacement, you will get velocity. On differentiating velocity, students, you will get acceleration. I'm going to follow that concept now. See, a is equal to dv by dt. So that is equal to, students, you can write it as d by dt of this v. V is nothing but r omega. Okay. Into, you can write it as minus sine theta I cap plus cos theta into j cap. So now we need to differentiate it. So if you differentiate the, students, here omega is the variable and theta is the variable, but r is anyway constant. So since if you want to differentiate it, you have to differentiate in the form of uv form, students. uv is equal to u dash v plus uv dash. This is a formula I have taught you during differentiation. Okay. Consider omega as u and the remaining this as v. Then do the differentiation. That's it. I'm rubbing this point. Keep writing quickly, students. Every one of you write it quickly. So now I'm going to use this formula for the differentiation, students. Keep differentiating fast. Finally, acceleration vector is equal to, you can write it as r can be written outside. I'm taking a big bracket. Now u dash is nothing but d omega by dt. Okay. Rate of change of angular velocity into v. V is equal to this portion. Then I can write it as minus sine theta into I cap, right? Plus cos theta into j cap. So u dash v is completed. Plus uv dash, students. This is plus uv dash. Anyway, r is common for both. I'm taking r is common for both. Here I need to take uv dash. U is omega plus omega. I'm writing here, students, into. I'm taking only bracket. Observe the differentiation carefully. Next, v dash. V dash is this one. Differentiation of sine theta is going to be cos theta. Okay. So minus cos theta into
omega ante sir,
angular velocity. Omega is angular velocity. Rate of change of angular displacement is angular velocity. Theta another angular displacement, no. S is linear displacement. Rate of change of linear displacement is going to be linear velocity. In the same way, students, rate of change of angular displacement is going to be angular velocity. So minus cos theta into I cap, okay, plus, because I'm differentiating this, differentiation of cos theta is going to be minus sine theta. So again, minus sine theta into j cap. That's it, guys. Now the differentiation is completed. Okay. Here I'm taking one small flower bracket because omega is common for both and r is even common for total term. Therefore, if you do differentiation of velocity, students, we have to depend on uv formula. And one more thing, here differentiation of theta will become d theta by dt, no? So I'm writing d theta by dt outside, because for this both you will get d theta by dt. Meanwhile, here also, students, you will get d theta by dt. That means flower bracket. I will write common for d theta by dt because we are differentiating with respect to time, but here variable is theta. Okay, guys, this is completely a differentiation. Now I am writing its simplified form of the differentiation. Now A is equal to R is common. Now d omega by dt is equal to alpha. I can write, students, because rate of change of angular velocity is always taken as angular acceleration. About this I will tell you after completing this, right, friends? Here rate of change of angular displacement is going to be angular velocity. Rate of change of angular velocity comes out to be angular acceleration. Okay, students. Next, alpha into, this is alpha into, here this can be written as minus sine theta I cap plus cos theta into j cap is what, students? Unit vector along the tangent. Like this you can write, into d theta by this is going to be omega. Okay, next, plus here d theta by dt radhamma, endukante here we are not differentiating, sorry, we are differentiating only this term, this we are not differentiating, u dash v, no, u dash v, so here you can't get omega, u dash v plus here omega will be there, d theta by dt is again omega. Okay, so now omega into omega, you are going to get omega square into, this is nothing but, here I am taking minus common, students. If I take minus common here, I'm going to get, or else you keep plus as it is. This can be written as minus r unit vector. That's it, friends. Because if you take minus common from both, cos theta I cap plus sin theta into j cap, which is nothing but, students, unit vector along the radius. Then after substituting those unit vector values as it is, we are getting finally acceleration of a body moving on a circle in the coordinate system as r alpha t cap plus omega square minus r cap. Okay, I'm rubbing these two lines so that I can give you the simplified formula for acceleration. So now you see, students, here a bar is equal to r alpha into t cap, right, students, plus or minus, I can write omega square, r omega square, r is common for both, no, minus I can write, students, r omega square into r cap. So this is a situation you will get. Okay, students, now I can write this as a bar is equal to, this is tangential acceleration, because r alpha is lying along the tangent, no, so therefore you can take r alpha as a tangential acceleration, or else acceleration acting along the tangent means along the direction of linear velocity. We got linear velocity as r omega along its tangent, no, so on differentiating it further, we got acceleration along the tangent, right, minus, you can even write it as r omega centripetal acceleration, or else acceleration along the radius. So students, in vector form always we will write net acceleration is equal to AT minus AC. This is the result, where AC is the centripetal acceleration or normal acceleration. It always acts towards the center, or else it always acts along the radius, and tangential acceleration always acts along the tangent. Therefore, students, now we can conclude that when a body is moving on a circle, then it will have all the time two accelerations. One is along the tangent, another is towards the center. Okay. Now I'll take some more information in this topic. I'm rubbing this. Now I'm rubbing the diagram. I want to draw a new one. So now you see, students, here A is equal to AT minus AC, no? There AT is equal to, students, you can write it as in vector form, it is R alpha into T cap, means it lies along the tangent. Or else, students, simply you can write AT is equal to R alpha, that's it. It is a tangential acceleration, it acts along the tangent. Like this, you can generalize it. Okay. R alpha along the tangent. Or else you can also call it as tangential acceleration. Okay. And see friends, here AT can also be written as dv by dt students. Even you can write like this also. Rate of change of linear velocity. Because guys, v is equal to, you can write it as r omega, no? So what do you get dv by dt? This is equal to r into d omega by dt. What do you get d omega by dt? Angular acceleration. Rate of change of angular velocity is always gives you. Therefore, AT is equal to R alpha. So you can also write rate of change of linear velocity gives you tangential acceleration. Okay. Because V is equal to R omega, this we have seen in the first differentiation. And if you differentiate this, we are getting R. R is a radius constant, cannot be differentiated. So d omega by dt gives you students alpha. Therefore, AT comes out to be R alpha. Right, students? So this is a tangential acceleration. And here, AC is equal to, you can write, students, in this situation, you can write AC is equal to R omega square. Okay? R omega square in vector form into R unit vector. Or else, friends, you can also write AC is equal to, simply its magnitude, R omega square. It always acts along the radius. Okay? It always acts along the radius, students. Or else you can also say that it always acts towards the center. And it is said to be centripetal acceleration. What is R omega square, students? Centripetal acceleration. Okay, I'm rubbing these two lines also. Copy it quickly, students. Now, so listen, AC is equal to R omega square, and sometimes it is also called as, means the name of AC is centripetal acceleration. Okay. Or else, students, sometimes it is also called as normal acceleration. Both are same. Okay, and it always acts towards the center. Understood, students? And its magnitude is given as R omega square. Therefore, students, by using the mathematical knowledge, we have concluded that if a body is moving on a circle in the coordinate system, right, we can conclude that such body will have two accelerations. One towards the center, known as centripetal acceleration. One along the tangent, known as tangential acceleration. And the linear velocity is given as R omega. Understood? Therefore, for a body moving on a circle, the important parameters are centripetal acceleration, tangential acceleration, and linear velocity. Okay, students? And linear displacement, this also comes under. Here, with the help of our calculus analysis, circular motion in the coordinate plane, we have found expression for tangential acceleration, expression for centripetal acceleration. Now, say students, we can generalize some important concepts in kinematics of circular motion after this. Listen carefully, students. If a body is moving on a circle in general, now I am taking a general case. Okay, like this. Let us consider this is the center of the circle. This is the initial position, started at t is equal to 0. Before I have analyzed the same thing in the coordinate system, now I am taking a general case, students, normal case. This is B after time t, right? Subtended an angle theta. Now, in order to go from A to B, the body has covered an angular displacement theta. Okay, guys? If you concentrate of a body, if you concentrate on the motion of a body moving on a circle, okay, we can say that theta is the angular displacement because it is the angle made by the body with respect to the center. Right, students? We can call it as angular displacement. Now, here length of the arc, length of arc AB, okay, from A to B, if you take it as L, then we can say that, and R is the radius, students. Then here we can write from the knowledge of mathematics, L can be written as R theta. How do you write, students? L can be written as R theta. Okay. This is the length of the arc. This you will learn in your mathematics. If the arc subtends an angle theta at its center, then what could be its length? R theta. Now differentiate this, students, with respect to time. dl by dt is equal to R into, you can write d theta by dt. Rate of change of angular displacement gives you what? Angular velocity. Rate of change of linear displacement gives you what? Linear velocity. So like this also you can write V is equal to R omega relation. But here we don't get the direction, students. In the previous case, we got this magnitude as well as direction. Okay. Now we got only magnitude. But from just earlier case, we can conclude that it acts along the tangent. Now if you differentiate it further, students, V is equal to R omega, no? If you differentiate this further, then you are getting dV by dt is equal to R into d omega by dt. D omega by dt is angular acceleration. So that A is equal to, you can write R alpha, and it is said to be what, students? Tangential acceleration. Okay. So now the basic equations, the basic kinematic equations of a body moving on a circle are 1, 2, 3. L is equal to R theta, V is equal to R omega, A is equal to R alpha. Okay. Now, students, with the help of this, you can also write kinematic equations of circular motion. If you specifically apply the kinematic equations for circular motion, then listen, students. So we have V is equal to U plus 18. This is one kinematic equation. And next, V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. This is second kinematic equation. And next, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. This is third kinematic equation. Now, every time, students, if you want to write the general kinematic equations of circular motion, keep in mind that V replaced with omega 2, angular velocity. U replaces with omega 1, initial angular velocity. A replaces with alpha, angular acceleration. S replaces with theta. That's it. Means, listen, students, if you want to describe the motion of a body on circle, we can use kinematic equations as it is with small changes. What are they? These are the kinematic equations for a body moving on a straight line. Suppose if the same body moves on a circle, students, then V is replaced with omega, U replaced with omega, and A replaced with alpha, and time remains same, S replaced with theta. Now with this replacement, try to write down the general equation, students. Keep writing quickly. So now the general equations of kinematics of circular motion can be written as here. Omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t. This is one equation. And next, omega 2 square minus omega 1 square is equal to 2 alpha theta. This is second equation. And next, theta is equal to, students, omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. This is another equation. Okay. Even you can write that also. Sn is equal to, Sn is there, no? Theta n is equal to omega 1 plus, what is the formula Sn? I didn't remember. U plus A into n minus 1 by 2, no? Right. U plus A means alpha into n minus 1. Alpha by 2 into 2n minus 1, I guess. This is also can be written, but this is rarely used, students. These three are frequently used. Idantaga use undadu. Okay. But these three are frequently used. Okay, guys. So therefore, for a body moving on a circle, we have concluded that it will have two types of accelerations and two types of velocities. One is angular acceleration, one is tangential acceleration. Sorry, one is tangential acceleration, another one is centripetal acceleration. One is angular velocity, another one is linear velocity. Okay, students? So now, right. Copy it as it is. Copy as it is. These are known as kinematics of circular motion. And now students, I want to give you here. Acceleration is equal to, we got students, AT minus AC. This is a point we got, no? Or else we can also write it. This is a net acceleration. Here A is the. Or else if you want to find out its magnitude, students, magnitude is always written as they are perpendicular, no? AT square plus AC square. Okay. This is a magnitude, and AT is always written as R alpha, angular acceleration. AC is always written as R omega square. Or else students, centripetal acceleration you can also write V square by R, because V is equal to R omega, no? Make use of that relation. And now say students, if a body is moving on a circle, then suppose here if V is constant, right? If V is constant, then that implies dV by dt will be 0, means tangential acceleration will be 0. In such case, net acceleration will become AC, that is equal to R omega square, or else V square by R. This will become the net acceleration, means only centripetal acceleration will act as the net acceleration, and this is said to be, students, uniform circular motion. Okay. A is equal to AC R omega square, that is equal to V square by R. It is said to be uniform circular motion. That's it. Okay, guys. In uniform circular motion, the net acceleration is only centripetal acceleration. Suppose here, if AT is not equal to 0, students, then it is said to be non-uniform circular motion. Okay. That's it. And in such case, always acceleration can be written as under root of AT square plus AC square. Therefore, how do you define uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion mean? Students, in uniform circular motion, always tangential acceleration will be 0. Only centripetal acceleration will act, that too toward the center. Whereas in non-uniform circular motion, students, always tangential acceleration is 0. Sorry, tangential acceleration is not 0. And net acceleration is always written as under root of AT square plus AC square. That's it. So this is about kinematics of circular motion. Means, listen students, circular motion is a special case of linear motion, because in the mathematical analysis, everywhere I have used the linear motion logics only. I have considered the motion of the body in the coordinate plane, means circle. And there I have drawn the unit vector along the radius, unit vector along the tangent, and I have applied that kinematics logics, means calculus I have applied. I have taken the position vector of the body moving on the circle, then I have differentiated it, so that I got velocity. What kind of velocity? Linear velocity. How did I got? V is equal to R omega. What is omega? Angular velocity. Means, by applying the logics of translation, like rate of change of displacement is equal to velocity, we got angular velocity. That means, friends, the body moving on a circular motion will not have an independent parameters. That means circular motion is dependent on linear motion, or else simply we can say that circular motion is a special case of linear motion. That's why for circular motion we will have even linear variables also, or else linear parameters also. V is equal to R omega. V is linear parameter, omega is angular parameter. L is equal to R theta. L is length of the arc, or else distance covered by the body on the circle at any instant. Theta is its corresponding angular displacement. Okay, students, V is equal to R omega, L is equal to R theta, A is equal to R alpha. And we can also apply the kinematic equations as it is, just by replacing V with omega, theta with, S with theta, and A with alpha. Okay, guys. So this is about the kinematics of circular motion. And in this situation, students, if AT is equal to 0, then that is said to be what? Uniform circular motion. Because in the problems you will be given as AT is 0. Then you can take it as what, students? Uniform circular motion. And next is, if AT is not equal to 0, sorry, then that is said to be what, students? Non-uniform circular motion. Understood, guys? That's it. So this is about complete information on kinematics of circular motion. So next you will have dynamics of circular motion. Okay.